All right, testing, testing. Welcome back. I'm just starting the game up. In this match, we're going to talk about attack when people are unprepared and appear where you are not expected. This is classic Sun Tzu, Art of War stuff. The first part, here we go through. Sorry, my game is just starting. Things may be auditorially unsettled, so I'm just going to wait for a minute till everything's running before I really start talking. So this is just a preamble. Don't worry if it's cutting in and out. You haven't missed anything yet. And this is pretty straightforward. It won't take long. You don't have to watch the whole video because this is a fairly, well, most people understand these sort of. Okay. Often though, people don't really think about them because they're just playing a game. They don't think about this like strategy or warfare or important. They just want to have fun. That's fine. Okay, if you're just here to have fun and just play, go for it. Okay, absolutely go for it, especially if you're good at the game. Okay, then it's fun. Okay, if you're good at the game and you're playing the game, that's fun. Okay, if you're not good at the game, then it's not so fun. Okay, so these videos are not aimed at people who are playing for fun. They're not really aimed at people that are really good because most of the people that are really good already know these things. Even if they don't know them, they do them. So it doesn't hurt to watch these things if you're experienced. But seriously, these are mostly aimed at the casual player who's not doing great and wants to do a little bit better. Okay? That's the people that I'm really speaking to here. Okay? Come on. Life is so complicated. Here we go. Let's try this. Oh, black. It's all black. My whole world is black. There we go. Okay. I'm back from the black. And everything should be working as far as the volume goes. Yes, I'm up. Okay, so now we can start talking about the topic of this stream. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Attack when the enemy is unprepared and appear where you are not expected. So this is high ground, third partying, boon powered rotations. Those are the winning, that's the winning kind of meta. And people shouldn't push blindly. Instead, they should push when it's advantageous to push. So, you gotta wait till the fight's in a bit. And you gotta wait till the opponent has shot their wad. And you gotta wait till they're coming out of the storm. When they're healing, when they're distracted, when they're in the low ground or a weak position. Always ask yourself, am I the ambusher or the ambush? Pick fights you can finish quickly too. You don't want to be in a long extended battle where you can get third partied easily. That's not a good strategy in the long run. You want to win the fight and then you want to get back in your hidey hole. So you can appear when you are not expected once again. You definitely want to watch the drop for people who are not prepared. If you can get to that drop first, or you can get the high ground first, that gives you an advantage. And that's the time that you need the advantage. When things are even. Or less than even. Okay. Let's see how I called it here. If I called it just right, I should land right on this chest. And I don't see any gliders around me, so I can come right in. First kill. Purple X'd. Sorry, buddy. Perplexed. Sorry, perplexed. I feel bad about those kind of kills. I really do. It doesn't seem very fair. I hate that when that happens to me. But I had no choice. Seriously. Minis? Yes. I'll take the minis. Now you might ask why I'm not sticking around to loot. And that's because I don't want to. And I don't want to get that bush either. Okay? It's just a little too conspicuous. This one's better. This is a quiet bush. Of all the bushes around here, this one doesn't get tapped very often. First off, it's in the middle of some bushes. It's not right on the road. It's got the rock there and the rock there. So people tend to just drive around. Now I need to switch my load out here. There we go. Gun. Protection, gun, mobility, shields. Pretty traditional loadout, okay? And 30% of the lobby is almost toast already. And I got a kill. An elimination, pardon me. And I took very little risk getting that elimination. That poor kid was just toast. He didn't even have a chance to get to the chest. And his mistake was bad landing, okay? He landed in the low ground and he landed late. Okay? And he landed near someone, okay? So if you have to land late, you have to land in the low ground. Try to land by yourself, okay? Or, hey, just try to land by yourself, okay? Unless you can land in an advantageous position, it's better to land by yourself, okay? One of the safest things you can do is just land right in the bush. Just wait, okay? As long as no one saw you go into the bush. Ooh, call me Princess X. Kind of like that name. Okay, so let me see here. Don't do that very often. I have never met a communist princess before. Yeah, there's always a first time. I just want to meet royalty. And princesses, I got a weak spot for princesses. They come with their own unicorns. So fluffy. Okay. Mostly I like playing with girls. I don't know why. I mean, you know, playing Fortnite. I'm a typical guy. girls, but these days I don't play with girls. I socialize with women. Okay, people my age, no interest in girls. My daughters are older than that. Their kids are girls. Seriously. I have nothing in common with a child. I have barely anything in common with most adults. The only people that I'm interested in talking to are people roughly my age. Okay, they're the only ones that really understand. Okay, you know, I hate to tell you this, kids, but you just don't get it yet. And here's the funny thing. Most people are not smart enough to go and ask old people, hey, tell me what you think is going on. Because, some of the old people might have figured something out. They might have actually learned something. Education, experience, And not only that, but what about talking to successful old people? I'm successful. I'm old. Nobody ever asks me, "Oh, how did you do that?" Oh, guacamole. There's another good name. I see that guy. I like that name. Yeah. So, in fact, actually, it's funny. Uh, People seem to resent success. They give you and it's not people that are at my level or it's. And I don't mean resent success in the way that I resent people being self-indulgent and self-important. They resent success because they weren't able to muster the self-discipline to not drink, to go to work every day, to pay the mortgage. A lot of the people that I know are still renting. And some of them are struggling with homelessness and with substance abuse issues. That's fine when you're younger, okay? But by the time you're a senior, you should have figured this out. Seriously. Now, fortunately, I live in Canada. So here, once you hit 65, the government basically has UBI. Seniors, they have, first off, people get CPP. So if you work for any kind of company, the company has to put into the government pension plan, the Canadian pension plan. Okay, so you get that. And I get a little bit of that. But you know what? Honestly, it's not that great. Okay? It is great if your employer puts in half and you put in half and you work for your entire life at a good paying job. Then yes, it's fine. Okay? And that's actually quite fine for affluent people because not only do they get CPP, but their company usually gives them a pension on top of CPP. Oh, here. Come on, buddy. See that? Now I gotta be careful. So there's my easy 2 kills. Okay, that kid did it all wrong. Okay. But there's a tempting thing down there. Here, I'll give you a gift, kid. Look. Press this button 10 times. Watch. And you'll get, there you go, emotional intelligence. 10 emotes in a match, 1500 XP. So there, even though I killed you, okay? Alright, I gave up a kill there to be defensive, but that's okay. I'd rather do that than take any chances. And top 25 already too, so I got 3 eliminations. Oh yeah, I've been spending the gold recently. No. I do well with the SMG. I think of it like a shredder. All you gotta do is stick the gun in them, pull the trigger. It really doesn't take that long to unload the whole clip into them. And usually by that time they're kind of weak anyways. You don't really have to aim, you just have to keep that red dot on them, man. Yeah. And not like the shotgun where you have to pull. Especially that twin, man. Jesus, if you miss that if you miss your shots with that, man, the reload time is just devastating. Although those fuckers with their one-shot aim bot bullshit reflexes. Okay, there we are, top 10. Just camping. So, patience. Patience. I haven't really moved at all. I've just waited for people to come to me. I'm still within a few yards of where I landed. You know, for an old guy in a wheelchair, you don't want to run around much. Seriously. Oh God, I miss shopping carts. They were kind of useless, but I still miss them. Epic. Please, bring back shopping carts and allow us to put something in them like ammo or a gun. You know, like seriously, if you were pushing a shopping cart around to carry one extra item, I think that's a fair penalty. And the other thing I really loved about shopping carts is in duos, because you could put one person in the shopping cart and one person could be pushing and you could cover ground. A little quieter than a car. I think I killed a guy once. I went into a rift with a shopping cart, pulled the parachute, the shopping cart died, it landed on them, they died. I can't remember if that actually happened, or if I just saw that in a clip. Long time ago, man. Oh, I'm at A level, and I gotta move. I don't really want to move. Whatever. I'm in no rush. They tore down the house across the street from me. Gentrification, which is good for me in a way. Although developers are gutting the neighborhood, they're putting in high density stuff. But I live in a fairly nice neighborhood, so anyways. The house is gone that I looked at all my life, 40 years gone. The house next to me is gone. The house at the end of the block. In fact, I'd say 70% of the houses around here are now gone. And mine will be gone too eventually. But anyways, point of the story is they trash the place. They just tear these houses down, even though they're perfectly good houses. So I've been scavenging stuff from there. I saved all the plants in the yard. The guy had a really nice yard. They spent a lot of time on it. And then the wife passed away and he retired. And they sold the house and they rented it out for a while, and some people took care of it for a while. It was kind of nice. And they had house plants. Oh, here comes the storm. So Anyway, so I went down there, dug out a lot of the perennials. Those are the plants that come back every year, and transplanted them in my garden because I've never really had a lot of opportunity to. Never had a lot of opportunity to do much gardening, and honestly, frankly, I'm not particularly good at it. Sadly, because it's one of the things I really admire. But I'm bound and determined to become a gardener in my old age. So that's one of the things that I am trying to work on. So, but you know, flowers are not inexpensive. Back door. Yeah, flowers at the. If you go to the greenhouse or the nursery in the spring, prices are crazy. Especially if you're buying annuals. Those are the ones, they're just one year and they're done. I mean, they're pretty, don't get me wrong. You don't got to do much, just plant them. Garden looks great. A lot of people love that, okay? But that's every year you got to do that. Ooh, top. All right, I got to get moving. I got to get to zone. So instead, what I do is I plant only perennials. Those are plants that come back. And I tend to buy plants that colonize. So they spread out. You just got to plant a few in an area, and pretty soon there's little buggers everywhere. Okay? Yeah. Long gun. So, and the other thing I do is I wait. I wait till the spring season is over, and then often these nurseries and the big box retailers, Home Depot, places like that, they lower their prices. They have a sale, try to clear out the stuff that didn't sell. Is that a head I see? Oh, I'm just going to pop one in there. Those guys can see you in a bush. But they give up. I can practice my headshots. I gotta move. I can't afford to. Whoa. This is crazy. Wow. In the middle, in a bush. Nobody's here. I hear a car. Yeah. No, I got shot in the back. Oh, bastard. Well, whatever. Return to lobby. Shit, I misplayed that. I misplayed that. I should have been going the other way. Damn. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Go away. Damn. Oh, I tend to do that. Misplay at the end. Alright, so attack when they are unprepared. I didn't do that. Oh, I thought they were fighting too. I misplayed that away as well. Huh.